Here are 14 top traits of the nice narcissist. The nice narcissist is recognized in the clinical literature, usually called the pro-social narcissist. Evidence of this is a paper produced by Conrath in 2016 called The Strategic Helper, Narcissism and Pro-Social Motives and Behaviors. It's actually a review of other people's research that indicates that yes, at times, if it's advantageous, the narcissist will engage in pro-social, meaning kind, giving, generous, for the good of the environment around them, if they see it as being beneficial for themselves. The three traits that I'm going to start with are three traits that could apply to a nice person, but we have to start with the facade, the way they seem to be to the world. Number one, they have a great reputation and everybody just loves them. Number two, they are funny, they are kind, they are charming, they're even empathic, and they build trust and bonds with people quickly and easily. Number three, they are actually genuinely doing things for other people and they are making authentic sacrifices. Now, as I say, those three traits could apply to genuine people, but the rest of the traits I'm going to give you will show you that these people are not actually that nice. Number four, over time, as you've spent more time around them and they don't feel that urge to try and impress you, to secure narcissistic supply from you, they feel like they've got you, you'll see that many of the conversations that you have with them and when they're there with other people, they dominate the conversation. Number five, if in conversation they aren't talking about themselves either directly or indirectly, or are talking about the projects that they're involved in that make them look good, you can actually observe them starting to switch off and dissociate. The eyes will glaze over, they may yawn and stretch, they might start checking their phone, and they become visibly disinterested and sometimes even irritated. Number six, you'll notice as soon as the conversation comes back to them, however, and their projects, they will instantly light up as soon as they get the limelight back. This is a clear indication that what you're looking at is an entity who's seeking to secure narcissistic supply. When the limelight is on them, they go into narcissistic elation and their whole body becomes energized and they're moving again. But when the conversation slips away from them and their projects, they go into narcissistic depletion and they become bored, depressed, and dissociated. Number seven, you'll notice that if you actually challenge them in any meaningful or fundamental way, they'll get cold and nasty very, very quickly. But only in private. They will not do this in public, and they'll be very careful not to leave any evidence behind. Number eight, you'll notice they work very, very hard to maintain their public image. They're focused on how they look on social media. They're very focused on how they look in photographs. They're very focused on reputation management, as though they were a kind of PR company of one. Nine, being around them is exhausting, and you'll start to see across time the gap between the public persona and who they really are becoming wider and wider. This can create a tremendous amount of cognitive dissonance in us because we're almost storing two experiences of the same person separately. This becomes quite traumatic. It can actually build a trauma bond with the individual. So when they're being good, you store that in one hard drive of your memory. When they're being nasty and abusive, you store that in a different hard drive of your memory. And then in order to adapt to your intimate relationship with them, you have to split yourself and become two different people who's associating with this individual in two different ways. The cognitive dissonance is experienced as a somatic body-based stress, where an individual is being asked to hold two conflicting ideas or pieces of information inside the head at the same time. You will also notice that you start to become nervous of their emotional responses to you and to scenarios. So you start to try and control your responses and even control the scenarios so that you don't get that nasty emotional response. We call this walking on eggshells. Number 10, you'll see that broadly speaking, all of their communication falls into one of two categories. Number one, they're either humble bragging about who they are, what they've done, how amazing they are, how amazing their projects are and the impact they've had in the world. Or number two, covert requests for help and assistance. They will have a lot of people around them who function as minions, and if you look and you're honest and you're humble, you'll probably find you're one of them. The closer you are to them, that means they've allowed you into the inner circle. It's because the more useful you are. You're either offering money, you're offering sex, you're offering access to status and fame, or you're helping them move forward in their objectives in some way. Number 11, it's only those people who've made it through to the inner circle who start to see the true face of the nice guy, nice girl narcissist. It's only you who are going to see what they're really like. All of their fans, all of the people outside of this close inner circle will be completely oblivious and just think that they are wonderful human beings. Number 12, you will discover that they are not nice at all. Their apparent charm was nothing more than a hook to lure you in, and then it's leverage, it's social leverage, it's reputation leverage to get you to do more of what they want you to do for them, and you will feel more instrumentalized and utilized and tired and exhausted and ultimately betrayed across time. Number 13, they are very good at telling you exactly what it is that you want to hear. But over time, you will notice they are more consistently effective at taking more than they have been offered, at stretching or breaking interpersonal boundaries, and fundamentally being exploitative. Across time, you will find the experience of being with them more and more exhausting and less uplifting. 14, finally, when they really think they've got you and they can't be bothered putting up the facade anymore, the mask will slip. You'll see all of that charming, apparent extroversion descend into a self-pitying victimhood narrative in which they are the center of their own tragedy, in which they've never been recognized for their amazing things that they've done and all the amazing things they've given to people. They're extremely negative in the core. All of that happiness, all of that cheerfulness, all of that ebullience and charm was nothing but froth. It was just a front to get you close enough to draw you in, and then finally you will be able to see the real person, a cowardly, self-pitying, degenerate child. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are looking to get out of a relationship with a narcissist, I highly recommend the course I have for you, Unplug from the Matrix of Narcissistic Abuse. It not only allows you to escape from a narcissistically abusive relationship, but resolve the trauma bond with that person as well. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Please make sure you click here to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.